All right, everybody, we're ready to start. We'll jump into questions, beginning with Wes Rucker, Ben McKee, and Rob Lewis.
Yeah, Rick, obviously that was a tough day, and I know you haven't seen film yet, and you'll probably have a better idea when you do, but how much of that was just a bad day or was that a cause for bigger concern?
Well, I think it was a great day for Kentucky. It was almost like they had a magnet in the rim, and they were doing it. But with that said, I didn't think we started the game defensively the way we wanted to with our scouting report. But with all that said and done, you know, we were in the kind of game we thought it would be, and then we turned the ball over there. They get those 4 quick points. It was really a 2-possession game. I think we were down 6, maybe 7. We turned it over twice at half court where we shouldn't have. And then now and momentum turns that way. You simply can't give a team this good that many points off turnovers. They're going to shoot 80% if you let them get those run out dunks and those run outs where they were getting to the corner, and they're going to shoot it. And when they're making those shots, it's tough. But the turnovers were a big part of the game. But with that said, you know what? I really believe that in some way, I got to look at it this way, that we're going to learn a lot. It's going to be positive. We can be positive from it, take some positive from it. And I really was proud of Urosh. I thought that he's real in the way he goes about it. Brandon Huntley, 2 days ago, finally decided that we felt he let his guard down. He has spent 2 days on his own with coaches, really saying, hey, you got to help me do this. And I'm so proud of him because he's had 2 days where he's really, you can tell he's just been totally different than any point up to here. Now, so proud he went to the game and did what he did. Shaq goes in and he brings every night the energy he's learning out there. But our point guard position tonight, backcourt, they scored 49, 59 points, somewhere in there with our backcourt. We've got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. I mean, there's no question about that. But the fact is, we've got to really look at it and see what we do. Maybe it's changing the vibe of our team, whatever it may be, whatever that may be. But we're going to have to take what we learned here today and certainly learn from it, because again, if you can say it was a bad day, we allowed them to get going. We really did. And at the start of the game with our defense, just made it way too easy for them. And then again, we fought back, you know, kind of game you think it would be going here, but those turnovers at half court, those 4 quick points, I thought was a big turning point in the game.
Rick, what did you see that led to Olivier and Fulke struggling tonight?
The rebounds at the end of the game. I mean, your starting front line can't play. John played 20 minutes. Olivier played, was it 16 or 18?
16.
They can't play. I mean, without they got to rebound the ball. I mean, that's their job, and they've got to do that. So that's a big part of it. I still with Olivier, again, he keeps getting himself in trouble on offense. They both had 6 turnovers between them, because on offense, honestly, and I just told them this, they're not listening to what we tell them. You know, we know how people are going to game plan them, and we tell them where they're going to be able to be effective. And that's where they've got to really, truly not only lock into what we're talking about on our defensive end, but the offensive execution. They've got to understand that part of it. But if you narrow it down to one thing, you can't have 36 minutes out of a front line and no rebounds.
Hey, Coach, without seeing the film, you probably can't answer this, but and you touched on it with the turnovers, but also thought Kentucky had a lot of open shots in the half court. Where did you see your breakdowns coming?
Well, I thought one early in the game, because of the way we allowed them to, we didn't execute our ball screen. We didn't X our personnel coverage early in the game. We didn't do that. And then, you know, they got going, and then we were trying to adjust with some of our coverage. But you're right, Rob, they got again, they knocked us back on our heels once they got the lead. But it started really the first couple of plays of the game where we absolutely gave no resistance. And then from there, we're trying to just subtle adjustments within our man offense. You know, we were thinking about, do we want to go zone? The way they were shooting the ball today, we were just, and we were most concerned about rebounding there. And at the time, with what we were getting from our front line, we didn't feel like we had a zone team out there that we could put that could really maybe rebound the ball from our zone positions. But again, it started from the get-go. Our our defense was not good from the get-go. And again, that's on me.
Go next to Mike Wilson, Grant Ramey, and Ryan Shumpert.
Yeah, Rick, who's kind of a player on this team you would expect to go into practice this week and say to everyone, the way some things have gone lately isn't acceptable? I mean, who's the one who will do that and kind of really get into their teammates on how some things have gone lately?
Well, throughout the game, the guy that's most real in that whole, the two guys that most real when you're talking about that are without question are Urosh and Jemai Mashak. They're the ones that when they talk, it's very authentic. Players know players, and maybe that's where we are. You know, I don't know. I mean, but people will say, well, I think Zakai has gotten that kind of respect if he wanted to do it, but he hasn't. I mean, it's tough to ask a freshman to do that. Santi, maybe, but I mean, and to really mean it, I mean, this is when you hope some of that's developed, I would say, to answer your question, Mike. If you ask me of the guys that started, I'm not sure if I can pinpoint any one of them. Maybe that's going to be a great lesson for us that somebody will decide, hey, enough is enough. This is what we need. This is how we need to go about this.
Rick, with this January schedule being what it is, do you worry about your team's confidence getting out of this month with confidence intact?
We're a pretty good team. We get our back against the wall. We've always been that way. And again, there's a lot of guys I've said to you guys before. I mean, we got our tails kicked today any way and every way that you could. But other than that, we've had chances in most every game we've been in. Again, I would say Villanova game, maybe not. But we got today what we deserve, because we did not execute defensively the way we're capable of. But again, I don't want to take anything away from Kentucky. That they're shooting the ball well. They're a team that they bought into their roles. I think they're playing their roles very well. But hey, it's a long way to go. And I said before this, I wanted us to play our best game today, but I think that we're going to be better a month from now. And that's what. And again, we're still in good shape with where we are. But we're going to find out about a lot of different things. Like I said, I think some way, somehow, we've got to change the vibe with our team. And what that may be, I will determine that more after I watch the tape.
Just going back to Mike's question, how frustrating or big of a problem is that the two guys you have confidence in to kind of step up in a leadership role, or two guys to think average less than 12 minutes a game?
Well, at the end of last year and at the start of this year, all we talked about was leadership. And again, and I believe it or not, through the all season with guys leading and talking, we got it. We probably were as good as we've been in a long time, to be quite honest with you. Last couple of years, we haven't had it the way you want it, but we're going to find out. Like I said, there can be a lot of positives that can come out of something like this. And the fact of the matter is, we will find out. Maybe this is what we're going to find out. Who is going to be the people to step up and do it, but mean it when they say it. And the only way you can say it is that if you're willing to go out and guys know that you've earned a right to have that voice. But if you're going to say it, you got to back it up.
We'll finish up with Troy and David Pascal.
Rick, piggybacking off what you said about Brandon, was there any thought to playing him earlier in the game, given John and Olivier's struggles and how he played in those final minutes? Is that merit enough to play him more going forward?
There is no question he's going to play more. But I told you, I'm proud of him, because you know what? 2 days ago, he finally understood, I think more than ever, that, hey, I can't do this by myself. He's locked in. His whole persona has changed in 2 days. And early in the half, the reason I didn't, we're trying to fight, and I didn't know if I wanted to put him in there and us keep sliding backwards, and it hurt his confidence going forward. I do hope that, and again, he made some plays tonight that he can't make. He still wants to swipe at the ball. He still gives up position by just reaching and those type things. But forget all that. It's what he did the last 2 days in practice, in terms of his whole personality has changed, in terms of, hey, help me. I do want to do this. I think he, like a lot of young kids coming in, they have a guard up sometime, but what he has done on his own after practice, came back at night, like I said, the coaches, and went harder than he's ever gone. And now I hope he will continue to, with that same attitude and moving forward that way.
Rick, you've obviously been at Rupp multiple times now, and you know how tough of a place that is anyway. With the passing of Joby Hall, could you tell, was there even more emotion at the start of that game than there even typically is?
I think there's a lot of emotion. I don't know if it was because of that. You know, honestly, I think the fact that we won, 3 out of 4 years, 2 out of, is it, what is it?
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 years here. I think that's a lot of motivation for anybody, you know, coming in when you've had a team to do that, huh? But, you know, again, it's a very, you know, sad day, not just here, but in the basketball world. I mean, Joe B. Hall, when I was getting into coaching, you know, he was at the end of it, but everybody knew what the job he had done here, and obviously being here under Coach Rupp as well. But prayers go out to his family, and it's tough, even when you've had someone with you 93 years, and when they're gone, you certainly miss them.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.